Ladies, gentlemen, and others in chat, welcome to another drawing stream. So, let me see if we can get this mic a little bit adjusted. There we go. Okay. So, the plan for today is basically back to square one. We're gonna redo the page one. I don't like this establishing shot. It's kind of something that I've like. It really irked me, and let me see. I can bring it up. What we did last stream. We had this thing here. This really got me thinking. Something like this would be the establishing shot, but it would be a long vertical shot instead of like an horizontal shot like this. I would like to have a vertical one, a big vertical shot, similar to this, or something along these lines. But it needs to be flipped. It needs to be mirrored because I want the perspective lines to act as an arrow sort of pointing towards the left. So guiding the viewer to kind of like, hey, look left. That's that will be your next pit stop, so to speak. And then I suppose I could just not the background, panel 2 as well. And I like the I can keep the speech bubble, that's fine. Okay. So I'm just gonna save that and throw this one. Turn off the visibility of that one, and we're just going to make a basically sketching out the panel layout. So basically, I don't know. We have one big panel here, and then we would have, I don't know, two panels like I don't know, something like that. I don't know. Maybe a bit bigger. We will just have to wait and see. So here you have the city. Right, the city skyscraper kind of thing. We're just all right, so you have a perspective that points right. I have a big city skyscraper, something along those lines, and yeah, I don't know. You have another skyscraper here. You have a street, and you have more skyscrapers in the background, and street pointing this way, and who knows, maybe another building, kind of like something like this. All right, so we have a perspective that sort of points this way. All right, look here. And here we will just have, it will start, I guess like this, just gets blacked in, something like that, crudely speaking. Right, something like that. And here we essentially just, we see foot running, basically. Alright, we'll just keep it very, very simple for now. He's running. Right. And the idea is that it starts, you know, those manga speed lines are just seeping through here a little bit in the beginning, right, like that. And then he is running still, I guess. Right? But something like that. But now the difference is all of this is now black, and you sort of get the inverse of the previous panel, right? So now it's black, but we are sort of, we have some light, sort of like for the lack of a better word, negative speed lines. So it's sort of like he's running from the light into the darkness, leaving the waking world and into the nightmare realm, into a world of dreams and nightmares. I don't know. And then we have another couple of other panels. I like the running panel that we had. From our first attempt at this page. And I also like the close-up when he's like looking over his shoulder or whatever. And maybe this will, I don't know. Because then we can have like, oh yeah, he is running. We have the stretch there. We have the pinch there. Like knee up. And then, you know, really running down. Basically this reference here. Like what we did. Running. Essentially. Running. And yeah, alright, so he just something like that, right? Alright. Rather his arm goes like down here and then hand. Something like that, right? Oh, he running. I suppose this one can also be a black background to get that contrast. Going, I guess, something like that. And here we then, and finally, get the page turner shot. Right, he is looking over his shoulder. Absolutely freaking scared out of his mind. That was a big ear. Right, and you go like he just has his shoulders and neck, like that. And back to his shoulders, and terrified. Terrified expression. Nightmare fuel. That is a nightmare fuel expression right there. Something like that is what it's been swimming around in my head. And well, maybe that will be better, worse, I don't know. It's just give it a go. Give it a go, give it a go, give it a go now, right? Alright. So, that basically means now that we have a game plan, that we can get to work. Gotta lay out. I have no idea why did you decide to snap like that. The big question, should we stay in it? Do I have some sort of snapping on? Because god dang. There we go. Alright. Do we stay within the safe area for all of the panels? Or are we gonna get bold? Like ideally, like we can't go outside of the blue. Because anything outside of the blue, that's gonna get cut. Assuming, not that we're gonna take this to print, but you might as well just start having some good working habits, you know? So that is a big no-no. And this also has like a 5mm bleed, so we need to stay at least 5mm away from that sucker right there. So we could do that and then just, yeah. Panel 2. Just gonna move the whole. Oh. Gonna move the whole layer over. Okay. So That's the plan, chat. We'll see how it goes. Wow. All right. All right. Let's see. That's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. This is the one that I want. All right. Well, why? But oh my goodness. I swear, sometimes this program just go like, you know what? I'm just gonna do something funky today. I'm like, please don't do anything funky. All right. Ah, for crying out loud. Yeah. Does that work? Let's see what we can come up with, chat. Let's just see what we can come up with. start here, you go up here. Now, we need to do something about like the perspective to make sure that we have lines that point that way, right? We want something that points to that. Oh, how do we do that? Pooey pens. We would probably need a horizon line, something like that. And I wonder if I use if I use one of these, how does that look? That's probably way too extreme. That's too extreme. Too extreme of a perspective. But we go here and then just what if, chat? What if? Right, we can always delete those later. What if we just use the center point of panel 2 as the vanishing point that all the stuff that's on this line in panel 1 converges to. Is that great? Will that work? I mean, it doesn't have to go all the way up to the... Probably shouldn't go all the way up to the... Right. Two-point perspective, we're just going to keep it very stupid, very simple. Right, but now they're of equal height. We don't want them. We don't want them to be of equal height, chat. We could have this one be even higher. And we can turn off that gosh darn speech bubble as well. Right. Something like that. And if we then have right. Are we cooking or are we getting cooked? I do not know, chat. Have we learned nothing? What if we could from our study session last time? Well, it's just a... Now it looks like it's an edge. It can go like that, but... It kind of works, but at the same time, it... Do I have... Can I dig up that Pinterest viewing history? Oh, there you go. For some reason... Let me just move it over here and drag it in as a reference image. There we go. Now I can actually see what the heck I'm gunning for here. Go away. Alright. So the building obviously, okay, that's my first big mistake. Buildings need to go smaller so you get a better big buildings, not muscles. We'll probably come to that at some point. The big buildings need to be close. And to get a sense of depth, they need to be at different... they don't have to all be at the same distance from the street. Because the way that it is now, like, it's a little bit bland, boring, and uniform. Right? Because like here you go like, yeah, there's this street, but the buildings aren't perfectly in line to it. It goes a little bit up and then goes in and then up again, and does also weird, funky stuff. Right, you have this one big building on the side, so kind of like that, but we need to flip it, and well, also we need, like, this is probably like a full page thing, and we want to do it in as one. No, I don't want to do that. I want to. I don't want to do one page establishing shot. I have an idea for a full page shot, but it's not going to be this. It's going to be... Alright. So. Where are we at? Chat, where are we at? Right, and the vanishing point here is, yeah, the horizon line is somewhere up here. Yeah. Okay. But this big black side here is sort of blocking off the viewer. Like, you're not supposed to go this direction because it's all black. Don't go there. You go... Yeah, because like if that is the opening page and you know, the reason why it's oriented like this is because you're reading left, from left to right, New York, like you're going to this direction. That is why the perspective is pointing that. But we want to go the other way because we're doing manga like an idiot. So even though the text reads this way, the visuals are going to go that way. Alright. Which basically means we're going to flip that. We're going to need one big building. Here. building sticking out here. Right, and right, and then this building should probably not overstay its welcome. Right, something like that. And we can have a smaller detail. We can try to keep her line. You know what? Screw it. Let's just keep it messy, chat. Let's just keep it messy. Don't get too invested in your sketch. Let it be ugly. Right. Yeah, because that one is also converging. Yeah, parallel. 2-point perspective. Let's go. Something like this. And of course the big question is, how big is the... Like, how high up are we? This thing just keep on going down? Or does it stop? Yeah, it's awfully narrow though. Awful narrow. Then I don't know. Let's just try. Get some freaking distance. I don't know. you guys started Christmas shopping, by the way? Not to brag, but I'm practically done. I only have my one present left for my big sister, older sister. Challenge is, of course, I have no freaking idea what to get her this year around. Normally I have some sort of idea, or she gives me a clue, or, you know, I pick up on something and go like, ooh, that would be cool. But this year, nope. No clue. No idea. My mom came by earlier today for lunch. And I go like, do you have any idea? And she was like, no, I have no idea either. I go like, well, screw me, screw us then, I guess. Yep. Let's do that. That could be cool. Goes off to a corner somewhere like that. I don't know. Yeah, that was possibly a bit too. No. No, I think it's better. Like, it can be lower, but it needs to still point downwards, if you get what I mean. Right. Something like that. I don't know. Does that look good? I have no idea. Let's fill these suckers in and with something, and see where we end up. I might end up hating everything, but you know. You never know. Let's just shade in. Alright, maybe we should not do that on the sketch layer. What? Oh. Yeah, and then we could do like, I don't know. I mean, we could just do. Alright, just sort of like show a little bit of the light of the city, something like that. You have this brighter. Maybe not necessarily a full-on. Your city. Of course, we need a dark, stormy, cloudy. Again, it's not necessarily bad. You lose that far background though. That background that sort of goes across from the city because it's so jammed up. And which is not necessarily like you have to have it, but I also I don't know. Something like that. I don't know. Okay. Needs to work at a distance, chat. If it works at a distance, and I have no idea what I'm looking at. Like, this works at a distance. Which makes sense because it's made by a professional artist who knows what the heck they're doing in terms of composition and light and all of that. Yeah. What am I missing? Maybe a little bit more. Need to better. Okay. We're getting somewhere, chat. Do we have running? What else? Like side running, maybe. Let's tackle one problem at a time, chat. Let's tackle one problem at a time. Alright, well. Okay. The big question is... So if this is going to be our basic sort of starting point, we need to I don't know, we'll just start sculpting and start refining and see where we end up. I guess. Let's just start doing stuff and not necessarily blindly hope for the better, but you know, just simply staring at the canvas is not necessarily going to magically solve all of my problems, so we might as well. Might as well get cooking. Right, chat? We might as well start cooking. Alright. Because these flat lines are kind of low-key bothering me. I'm like, okay, I want that. I'm just gonna patch things up as we go. I've been playing a lot of Control lately. I think I mentioned this before, but like and I'm late to the party and whatnot, but I thought I was over, after beating Dark Souls, I thought I was over the whole raging thing, but gaming rage, but yeah. Control proved me wrong. Oh boy, and it did prove me wrong. Holy smokes. I got under my skin. Pretty gosh darn good, I might add. But, you know. And the whole... I'm not sure if that game was suited for the whole adapting the Dark Souls mentality, where it's like, oh yeah, even if you're high level and basic enemies can still kick your ass, so don't get cocky. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure if that was a good choice for Control, but it is what it is. Thankfully, in Control, you can at the very least respec your character. I figured that out, and I might be playing on a higher difficulty because I don't think I've specced poor Jesse in a good way. So, whoopsie. Whoopsie daisy. I guess we need to just fix that. So yeah, I just went blindly through where you can like mod or upgrade your your health, your energy reserves, your energy pool, and also playing I don't know, abilities, but I just went through that list. Like, oh, I'm just going to start with more health because I kept dying, and I was like, all right, a bigger health pool. That sounds pretty rad. And it was. And I go like, yeah, bigger energy pool, so that can power my awesome superhero abilities. Yeah, that's cool. And then I just went on to the next one in the list, which was melee. And I don't really use melee mod, but now I go like, that might not have been a good investment of my skill points. So, how do we fix that? Well, we fix that by simply adhering to by respecing, and it would probably be better to invest those points in whatchamacallit, throw. When you just pick up random stuff or just chunks of concrete, just rip it off the walls and ground and just throw them at the enemy. Which is quite satisfying, but yeah. And I might spend way too much time on this sketch, but alright, now it's a little bit loose and messy and ugly, but also refined. Are we feeling it, chat? Oh, let's do that. Let's settle with that and not draw over it, but we're just gonna soft erase this. Loosely refined sketch. And now we need to like add. So far so good. But now comes the tricky part. The autosave. No. Now comes the tricky part. Now I need to just add stuff. Add additional geometry to this basic geometry. And traditionally speaking, that is where I've stopped previously. That's kind of where my brain gets cooked, or that is the place that I've been sleeping on. We did some of that on the last stream. So let's see what we can cook up, right? Panel. Let's just call it that. Name our layers, chat. Informative naming. Alright, there's my sketch layer. Let's frickin' go. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Alright. So now I have this layer and I can move around, and I'm assuming if the moment I collapse that down, yeah, you'll lose all. Oh, dang, that's that's an ugly ass sketch. But don't worry, the exceeding lines don't really matter because, yeah. They're not going to be visible thanks to the power of alpha inheritance stuff. Yeah. Okay, okay. Let's not stall anymore. Alright, well, we can just... go for this. Like, he has these little bars that kind of just go outside, out of, you know, let's do some of that. Like, not necessarily. Okay, we already have some lines here, so we already have some marks on the page, so let's go, right? And we need a line. And we're just gonna move that line down. And then we need another line that kind of wraps around that corner, right? Yeah, like something like that, right? And it wraps around that corner right there, right? Boom. Beautiful. And that line kind of stops where those two lines intersect, and those two lines kind of stop there. Boom. Right, and then we just throw down a line there, and let's just really basically start to properly internalize this whole temp layer approach. One problem at a time, one layer at a time. That's a good plan, and we kind of loosely need to follow perspective, but again, it's a sketch, and we will iron out the messy perspective messiness. More or less after the fact. Yeah. Alright, that was that was not good. Like, I don't necessarily mind being a little bit off perspective, but that was way off perspective. Alright. So, yeah, we need to... Alright, so now we know that this line here isn't... We now know that that line is in perspective. We can slim that bad boy down. There we go. All right. Whatever. Okay. And I think that all of these are just basically, just threw that one. Just threw that one straight out. Fair enough. Right. Keep it simple, stupid, you know. There we go. Alright, alright. So that one is wrapping around. There we go. Yeah, it's coming along, I think. Right, okay. That was one. And basically has one more that kind of just... So there we go. I don't think that I... Oh, can't. Then I should probably lock the mask layer so I don't accidentally make an absolute mess out of things. That would be practically unheard of. Ba, 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 ba. Alright, there we go. Right, so we now have essentially. Okay, I can dig it. I'm digging it, chat. I'm digging it. And then we need one more of those. A bit further down. Yeah, let's go. Like we can make pretty much whatever the heck we want, chat. That's the beauty of. That is both the beauty and absolute horror of drawings. It's like, nah, you can do whatever the heck you want. You don't like perspective? You don't have to do perspective. You don't have, who said you have to do perspective? Look at Picasso. He took perspective and he threw it out the frickin' window. Cubism, if I understand it correctly. I'm like, yeah, I don't need perspective. Speaking of Picasso, the epic rap battles of history, you know, of that character is absolutely bonkers. So that now this one is below the vanishing point, which basically means we will see. This is now the top plane, top plane. Let's see. Don't do the death grip, but let the stylus just skate across the tablet. Don't do the death grip. You don't have to do the death grip. Alright. So that is top plane established. Yay! How far out? I mean, if we want to go by this, probably where those two enter. Let's just do it like this. Yeah, we definitely really need to get rid of all of that, and we can get rid of all of this as well. Alright, and then we can erase. No. It can't be at the bottom. It needs to be at the top, because it needs. This is the one. This is the line that will go. This is the line that will sort of. Aha. There we go. Probably a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's a sketch. Never mind. It's a sketch. It's a sketch, chat. You gotta remember, it's a sketch. Don't get too bloody invested in a frickin' sketch. Am I right? Ooh, am I right, chat, or am I right? Alright, we just need to trim this thing down. It's not gonna be that thick. Like that. Alright, okay, cool. Okay, now we can collapse to our heart's content. And it kind of needs to be a bit on the slim side. But, you know, it's Friday, chat, so weekend is right here. We're just chilling and cozy. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Beautiful chat, beautiful. Okay, so now we are going to solve this problem. Like that. Yeah, I'm digging it. This is more time consuming, but it feels a little bit more... It feels better than the other one. The other one, the previous shot was just like, yeah. And then of course the big question is like, how big should like the detailing and the windows be? It could be like you could have very, very big windows here and smaller windows there. Right. It's like he has one row, a shorter row, a tall row, and then a big chunky row. So the small one, big one. And then what if we just do like an I don't know, an overhang. Or something, I don't know. Oh, no, now we need to be on a separate layer because we would like to be, granted it's a sketch and all of that, like, don't get me wrong, don't get it twisted, but, you know, we're doing an overhang like that, maybe, and then put just a bunch of windows here. Yeah. We want this, definitely want this line to overlap the corner of the other building so that we get that three-dimensionality, baby. Oh, and it doesn't tangent. Nice. Awesome. Tangents are bad, chat. You don't want tangents. Okay. We can trim it down into no death grip. No death grip on the stylus. Just let it. All right. Those are some chunky lines. Can I just trim them down? Of course I can. Ah. Oop. There we go. I'm like, all right, cool. Now, okay. I'm really happy that I found this workflow here, chat. If I'm gonna be honest and be a little bit emotional and sappy with you, because like, yeah, for whatever reason, it really, yeah, it passes the, it works. And having a method that works for you is great. Because ooh, yeah, you have that. You have this calm. It'll go like, yeah, you know, you get some. Just follow these steps, and you will get some pretty usable results. And I go like, yeah, I'm down for that. I'm down for usable, workable results. Heck yeah. It's probably not for everyone, but it's for me, so and that in the grand scheme of things, that's all that matters. Find what works for you. Hey! Yeah. There we go. Oh, that was probably a bit too eager there. So yeah, probably talked about this before, but it doesn't hurt to repeat it. Going into 2026, I'd like this to be my main thing, this entire manga, and I will just tackle challenges as I go along, making some pit stops, doing some side quests, or figuring out how to draw sneakers, how to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that when it comes to this so-called manga. So, but a funny or I don't know, funny or annoying thing about my brain is like once I come like, oh yeah, I made a commitment, I made an appointment, I reserved myself for, you know, Friday or whatever. I don't like breaking that sort of thing up. So that has kind of gotten me to think that maybe like a rigid schedule isn't that good for me. Because I'm filling my evenings up ahead of time, and then of course life can throw you a curveball and go like, oh yeah, you want to come over and play with your nephew or niece, granted like birthday parties or whatever, it's like they are, you know, annual events, but yeah, other stuff is like, yeah, I'm kind of on the fence on what to like. I'd like to work more on this, more than just 3 days a week, but I would also like to make without like having a rigid schedule. So I'm thinking 5 days a week, but I'm flexible with the days. Does that make sense? So I still like the 6 p.m. Time slot. Like, it gives me some decent breathing ground from a bit of a breathing space from coming home from work. Also, my work situation's a little bit up in the air on top of everything else. So, right, kind of shaping up. So yeah, I honestly do not know how to best approach that. Because like if I have a rigid, like I have a rigid streaming schedule, like 5 hours, no, 5 days a week. But I can be flexible with the days that I take off. Right? It's not a rigid schedule. If that makes sense. All right, Mr. Small Building, what are we supposed to do with you? Do we have any? Just so much detail. But like again, like if you really zoom in, go like just blobs, you know? Go like look at all of these little blobs that indicate people. Ryan Kelly, holy smokes, dude. But yeah. Anyway, what do we need? Yeah, so I'm thinking this entire side building here would just be kind of like this one, just black, and with some windows in it. Maybe this one, this building here, can be like this one. Like just alternate. It's just like, again, trying to like demystify it and like it's not that complicated, dude. I just need, it's alternating big, medium, small, big, no, not big, medium, small. It's just alternating boxes. Rectangles, basically. So yeah, let's do that. And again, this inside here, this inner side is just going all black. And yeah. Who knows, maybe we'll put some lights on this one. I don't know. So let's see if we can does that work? That I essentially just do a line. I don't want to, but maybe we do. Give it a custom color and give it a red. Dark red. There we go. Snap to assistant. Let's just... Yeah, no. Yeah, it's just... Let's just do that. Let's just do it this way. Because again, the lines are sort of like... They become dynamic because the erasing part is what makes the lines dynamic, chat. Of course, then how big should the line Yeah, that's one way of doing. I guess that's one way of doing it. We just need to figure out which one of these is going to be windows and which one of these are going to be this. Which one of these is going to go out and which one of these is going to go in, you know? And it doesn't have to be super perfect. We're not doing engineering stuff here, chat. You're in the wrong freaking stream for that, let me tell you. Alright, so we just need to pop these suckers. And does it go all pretty much, all more or less all the way down? Yeah. I have no idea how this is going to work on a scale, but you know, this is all on one layer as well, so. 10 players for the win, chat. No. There we go. Oh. Being fancy in this here. Fancy in this stream. We're tilting. Tilting our canvas. Alright, look at that. that even work? Another advantage of just dumping everything into one project, one stream like this, at least on the YouTube side, because then I don't have to worry about thumbnails or anything. You just keep the same thumbnail and same video title and just automatically sort things in chronological order in a playlist. So people do want to see it, catch the VODs, they can. Now the big question, do we get a tangent? No, we do not. That is good. Because we don't want tangents. Ah, pooey pants, we got a tangent. Alright, well, you know what? We can just stop there, basically. Right? And we can get rid of these spheres easily. Yeah. They are no longer, their services are no longer needed. No. All right, like that. Boom. Yeah. Okay. So now we just need to make a new layer. It doesn't need. We don't want you to snap to assistants. And the assistants itself, we might as well turn off the visibility for it. Yeah. So it's not distracting. Right, so how does he do it? Like he just pops out and he just basically he just alternates between light and shadow. So one is light, the other is dark. Okay, so and the internal, the darker ones are where the window's at. So okay, if this is the ceiling, like this is the top, then you won't have windows here, right? So you would have windows here, right? You would have windows there. You wouldn't have windows here. So if that is the, then the other one would just basically end here. Oh. Right. Yeah. So this one, this one ends here. This one ends there. And they all end equally because you have this giant building just coming down, laying down the law, as it were. And yeah, we get a vertical line that sort of horizontal line, I mean. That sort of. Ooh. Yeah, something like that. So windows, non-windows, and you know, that's just how we continue it down, basically. We're going to use more or less this line as a guide, and we're just going to put one sort of like new line on either, like on the opposite. Yeah, let's do that. Opposite sides of the initial line, right? So the next one would be here, and then you would just trim away this excess part. Right. I mean, this probably sounds pretty weird, but I'm low-key having fun, chat. That is... Isn't that what we're here for? Fun. All right, I think I am. Yeah. Okay. Let's just see if we can. Speed this up a little bit. We just need to trim you down like that. Okay, cool. Happy with that. We can collapse you down, and then I can trim you down. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. But now we need to just side. Outside. And yeah, I'll I should probably clean this up much better when I'm going over the inks, but at the speed I'm going, the inks are probably not gonna happen until freaking new 26. But yeah. but it's okay. And I probably could have done this differently, but we're almost done as well, so. Yeah. Oop, wrong side. Let's go. All right. So, yeah. Window. Yeah. Yeah, so these are the ones that are going to be bright and these are going to be dark. All right. And let's just bring down the hammer on these guys and just cut them clean like that. Yeah, pretty nice, clean, nothing fancy, straight black line, nice and simple. Maybe I should keep that a bit. Am I just playing through? No, I'm randomizing. Okay. Just... Yeah, because another thing that I really noticed is going. Ooh, that's what I wanted to do. YouTube Shorts is rotting my brain, and is that the sketch? Okay. And I don't like that. So if I can get into a routine where I just come home from work and then I just work on my comic/manga, all the better. All right. Instead of just going like, oh yeah, it's 5 minutes, and those 5 minutes becomes freaking hours. And I'm like, I need to figure out I need some sort of plan. What are we gonna do with you? What did you do with the other? Like, oh yeah, you did like a little box thing on top of it. We're gonna do a little boxing? Yeah, we're gonna do a little boxing. We're gonna do a little boxing chat. Because this is what we trained for. Alright, so we have that line. Boonk. Okay, cool. And it's a 2-point perspective, so we're just going to keep it simple. We're just going to go straight up with a gentleman's little pop right up there. Alright. And cut it. Yeah. And then we need to find some sort of cross point. Probably not that. It needs to be a little bit off, higher than the base, but not too ridiculous. But I think I also wanted, yeah, because like it goes pretty. Yeah, I don't think. Well, you will see it when it comes. Yeah, let's do that. For visual interest, I suppose. Let's do some. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that, chat. All right. We're cooking. We're cooking with gas, chat. We're cooking. It's a real barbecue here. Oh, not what I wanted. Yeah, there you go. Okay. I might have to. I'm not gonna commit. I'm not gonna commit to that line just yet, chat. Let's see how this ends up looking. All right. We definitely don't need any. Yeah, we're gonna need some of this. All right. Those boys, apparently somebody posted my kick stream in a Discord. Alright, cool. See if it gains any traffic. Ah! Maybe I'll check that later on. Or let's see, where are we at? Does that work? Okay, let's see. That might, because like it doesn't really go much, but then again it doesn't really really, it kind of just so I kind of just want to just enough so that it, like, yeah. Well, let's do this. Let's do this, chat. Let's do this. All right. Okay. And we got some more overlapping here. Nice. Nice. Love to see it. Yeah, I guess it kinda low-key doesn't matter too much because, you know. Right. And I suppose, yeah, I suppose we could just. Or do we? I don't know. Let's just leave it. Screw it. I mean, it's coming along. Still have a long ways to go, though, but it's coming along. Let's just clean up our sketch a little bit so it's not super hopeless. There we go. Look at that. That's pretty. Okay. Oh, boy. Really? You come from this? Are you coming from the same Discord community or what? Denemeyer. Dinmoller also? Alright. Well, you are all saying the same thing, and also kick audience, quote unquote, have a tendency to be pushing bots, so pardon my skepticism. These days, I kind of like. Well, yeah, you wouldn't see the backside of that one either way. That makes sense, okay. Yeah. Okay. So then the big question is, what do we do with this sucker? So just keep it nice and shallow, like such. Yeah, I think this is gonna be better, chat, because okay, maybe that line here doesn't make that much sense. But then again, it is, and leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it. Again, a lot of that is going to be, I'm kind of envisioning something just dark and side panels, kind of something, so. But I also suspect that things aren't quite to scale, but, you know, maybe we'll have to iron that out in the final line art and move things around and not be a blind slave to the sketch. Cross that bridge when we get there, chat, I guess. Alright. Alright. And I could, and I probably will, now that I think about it, because I saw it go like, oh yeah, it has like this indentation, so it's not purely boxy. So let's do that. We'll make a line like this. Okay. And then we will make a second line, I don't know, something like that. Alright, that kind of makes sense, I think. And then I think we don't want. Do we want a tangent? No, we don't want a tangent, but we can do it like that. Okay. And we can get rid of that, and we can get rid of everything. Yeah. Like that. Boom. Okay. Alright, so we want this. Hang on. No, we want this, because then it's not as tangent as the other. Right. Which basically means we need to make it a bit wider, but that's okay. Right, and then, yeah, we just erase all of this stuff here. And then this is the line that we need to get rid of. Right, and we need to get rid of this line as well. And bada bing, bada boom, there you go. We have almost successfully made an edit to the box. Alright. Alright, this thin sketch line is now throwing me off. We don't like that, so I mean, we could just weaken it even further, so it's not. Alright, then comes the question, do we actually? Yes, we actually do get to see some of it. Of course we do. Get to see a little bit of that inner corner there. I have no idea how much of that. Ooh, that could be a nice, interesting visual high spot though. Okay, cool. All right, and I feel like we should do. All right, cool. Might be a bit. All right, like such. Yeah. There's a thing over there. And I have it. Yeah. There we go. Oh, I painted enough straight on the sketch. Nice. Not that it matters too much. I can also just do like this and fine tune it. Oh. Yeah. Is there room for improvement, chat? You bet. But I feel a lot better about this iteration of this version of the establishing shot than I do of the first one. All right. I'm not sure if we even need that last one. I don't think we need it. We're abandoning it, chat. We don't have to do everything that was in the initial. Solving one problem at the... Now I almost ran into a problem. Problem of tangents, and we don't want tangents, chat. There we go. Tensions are bad. Oh. All right. And this one goes out in Windows out. There we go. There we go. Okay, okay. Whoa. Wow. 2 hours just sketching. Holy smokesy pants. But, you know, they say that like this is the important stuff. Like this is the 80% of the job happens here. So investing time and effort into, you know, planning, construction stage, whatever you want to call it, it's going to pay off. Or so I've been told. Yay. Let's see. That holds true. Of course, the big question is how we're going to proceed from here, chat. That is the big question. Right, obviously, we need... The big question is, do we continue sketching the other panels and then go around for inking? Or, like, what do we do, basically? I don't know. That's the big... That's part of the problem. But I think we should just... give it a shot. Right. Now, of course, my version is a heck of a lot more simplistic than this one, and obviously mine isn't even toned in, but I'm kinda torn on these buildings here. Part of me go like they should have some details to them, but also part of me go like, but they're at the bottom, so go like, because this is where you go like, oh, here's a lot of lines. Again, it becomes that balancing thing between detail. You put the details in because then it becomes sort of like a focal point. And if this just becomes like a black blob, like this giant building here, which is primarily a black blob, we go like, there isn't really that much interesting stuff going on here. There's some windows and some lights and a little bit of lines and so on. This water tower, but that's it. But I'm kind of go like, here, this is where I want my focal point to be. Because this is where the lines are pointing to the next panel. So that's where I should invest. Not necessarily so much at the bottom, because the bottom thing is kind of dull and bad. So this is meh, and this is wow. Wow. All right. Yeah. It's kind of hard to tell. But if this is gonna work or not, but we're learning, chat. That's the important stuff. Okay, I am all out of water, so I need to get myself a refill. Be right back, chat. Don't touch that dial. All right, and we're back. I've got a fresh batch of water with some ice cubes in it. It's all good. All right. Where were we? We were here sketching. I just stuffed my face with some Christmas candy. That may or may have not been a brilliant idea. Okay, right. But if we don't need that building, we can just... not do that. We need to go all the way from the vanishing point and all the way out. And have it. Alright. Yeah, okay, then we don't need you. You're... be gone. Alright. Cool. Now that I think about it, maybe it would have been better if we just blocked off this whole section and just prolong. Kind of like, you know. Let me see how that will look like. Let's see if we can experiment a little bit here, chat. Let's just experiment a little bit. Alright, we don't really. What? Oh, I suppose we could just, you know, elongate you. Alright, like that. Obviously that part would also be... Right. Let's just do a quick, non-destructive way of... Yeah, I think that's gonna work better. So we're just gonna, or we can just, no. We're just gonna. Soft erase all of this and like such. Bada bing. Right. It just has 3 buildings, but whatever. I kind of felt that it would be a little bit too crowded, so... Okay. Now... let's see if we can... Let's just... sketch something. I want a... cute little... Yeah, because I get thinking... Again, we're just gonna keep it loose and messy and sketchy. Because we're still in the sketch stage, so I mean, it's not kind of... Alright, so we then... need to get you to fit in with the perspective. Right. So you definitely need to fit down there. You need to fit on that one. You need to fit on that one. That's roughly, kind of, sort of, almost in perspective. Right, so if we then transform it one more time, but now regular transform. Regular transform. We scale it down, it would still be in perspective, but now it's smaller. Aha! Right, it still fits. So I can then copy you and paste you and have another one. Right, I need you to align. Okay. I also have a sneaking suspicion that this one needs to be a bit bigger? Question mark. Because perspective. Okay. Cool. So now I can throw that one away, and I can collapse these two. Right. And now we just, I don't know, I don't think he has any arching windows in this. It's all boxy windows. Smart man. But anyway. Let's just... How about we just... Oh yeah, we need to continue that line, so we might as well throw it out there. Something like that. No, I don't think that is helping at all. That looks straight up terrible, chat. And I goofed up here as well. Nope. We'll just leave that as is. Big windows at the top. Well, it's just smaller windows at the bottom, I guess. No windows there, just smaller windows. Oh, let's get me out of the start menu. That is not what I wanted. That's not where I wanted to be. Easier to this side? Yeah, I think it is actually easier on this side. Oh. Pooey pants, we have a tangent. We have a tangent, chat. We don't want tangents. Let's move you over here. So you're not gonna be tangent with that corner. Alright. I mean... Alright, so no windows there. On that side. Yeah. Ooh, look at that. Dynamic lines without even trying. Windows. Okay. Oop. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's see. Yeah, sure, why not? Just keep things to scale, question mark? That these windows are the same size as these windows, I don't know. I don't really know, chat. Well, we're just trying, learning, fiddling around. Now, the big question is... This is the bottom one, okay. It's the bottom one, which means we erase the top. Yeah. Like such. Okay, okay. It's kind of like, yeah. They have like this midsection in between as well, just to make things even more interesting. All right. This one was the top one. All right, I need to align the top one with this one and the top one with this one. All right. So now it's in the inside that we need to erase. Like such. Okay. Holy smokesy pants, chat. We are actually... Like, this one aligns... Wait, what? Like, that top and that top. Top one aligns with that one. Ah, pooey pants, I forgot. Can I go back? Yeah. The bottom one on this one. There we go. Now it's correct. Alright. So now the top aligns with that one. We skip, so top aligns with that one. And top aligns with that one. Okay. So we always erase the bottom one, chat. Okay. Okay. Top one. Up one. Yeah. Hey! Somebody from YouTube. I think that's the first time I ever had a comment from, or a chat from YouTube. Congratulations. Da, 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 da. The bottom one. Okay, okay. So I'm doing good. Doing good. All things considered, you know. Chasing the dream. So with cooking. Oh my goodness, what's that that username? You dote and stuff? Judging by your username, I would go like, you're into animation? Sweet. Where are we at? Okay. Yep. Look at that, chat. We got an animating Giga Chad in the chat. I mean, my brain is melting just by trying to do this basic stuff. I have no idea how you would do to try to do this in, I don't know, 30 frames a second or whatever. Oh my goodness. Animator and digital artist. Wow. Do it for a living then? That's pretty cool. Yeah, we can just cut it off like that. Or, hang on. Ah, no, that's not what I wanted. Need, okay, I'm gonna commit to that, make a new layer, and how does that work? Let's look at the reference chat. I mean, he does have some chunky. Oh, doing just for fun, a fellow hobbyist. That's good. All right, so like he has chunky columns between the windows and like this white panel thing in between. So chunky column. A chunky boy. What warrants a chunky column, I do wonder. Alright, well, we can... So... Animation. Is it like 2D or 3D? Blender? What's Krita? Pixel art? What's your poison? That's the phrase, right? Is that a chunky? No, that's not a chunky. There's a chunky gap. Ah. Yeah, let's do that. And these are the windows. So I need Pencil 2D. Never heard about that one, but Media Bang rings a bell. $2D stuff, right? Well, Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, right. So. Well, it's not exactly a high octane stream, but enjoy your stay. Any let's keep the conversation going. Blah, blah, blah. Any style in particular? We're staying with anime or something else? Just one of those classy, no, not necessarily classy, but classic silly symphonies. It's amazing how much soul there is in those old animations. Cartoon anime inspired. Alright. Sounds like there's a bit of a hybrid between the two, but hey, that's cool. Yeah. Back in my day, when I was a wee youngster lad, I wanted to be video games or 3D animation. That didn't pan out, but it was fun giving it a shot, finding out, you know, this ain't for me, or at the very least, I didn't have it in me, at least not back then, to pursue it. So, but hey. But that was a different time. A whole different era. Alright. Yeah, speaking of anime, and 3D animation, I mentioned this on other streams, but since you're here, any pets? No. No pets for me. The neighbors are, kind of have it all covered with, there's at least one dog and several cats in the neighborhood, so I'm covered. I outsource the pet responsibilities to my neighbors. That's just how it is. Okay. Tuxedo cat. Wait, what? Tuxedo cat? Hang on. Tuxedo cat. Oh, Mr. Black and White. Boone. Oh, that's pretty cool. Is it a older gentleman lady, or is it a little youngster? I wanted to get a pet, I would probably go for a cat. A friend of mine has had a dog, which unfortunately passed, but old age. But it's not that I'm have a strong dislike for dogs or anything. I'm just go like, I don't know, for some reason, just cats just strike me as better. 3 years old. Right. This whole cat year and dog years confuse me, so I would assume that he's then an adult, like 3 human years for that matter. Let's see. Save. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so if we lock out the alpha, this is how it looks like. And yeah. So I'm wondering if we should start sketching in some values, maybe? This looks lame. I need to do something about this building. But what to do? Look at the reference for some inspiration. Cat. Yeah. Good. Glad I'm not the only one. But hey, he's an adult. That's all we need to know. So what are you doing on this lovely Friday? You're just chilling, just hanging around? You're gonna hit the town later? Excuse me for coughing. What to do? Just plop this on without much thinking it through, and now it's coming to bite me in the butt. Question is, what do we do about that? What do we do about that? What do we do about it? We could be so bold. Mancats? 100 years? Oh god dang. Walking animal encyclopedia here. That's cool. If you have a lot of you have a cat and you have a lot of interest walking around with animal facts. Go like, does your animation, do those two overlap though? Animation and your interest in animals, so that you go like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make a funny little cat animation or whatever. Cats have a lot of personality though, so. But then I can imagine they're also very like fluid and graceful, which is probably gonna be a pain to animate. I can imagine. Alright, let's take a break from Mr. Establishing Shot, and I don't need that speech bubble layer visible. Alright, so going back to our rough sketch here. Okay, so he is running. Running. Ah, cool. That is cool. Yeah, that is a good way of keeping the art good, not good, but genuine and authentic, because like the love and passion that you want to have for it can shine through, even though it might be not particular, it might not be as good or as polished on a technical level, but people go like, yeah, I can see the love in it, I can see the passion, I can see the vision. It's just, you just need more projects, more experience under your belt to polish it. It's a diamond in the rough. So running. Do I want what kind of running do I want? Do I want the whole leg, or do I just want the... Well, I guess we're just gonna have to do some experimenting, chat. Let's just lock the whole plane one so we don't mess things up. Oh, I also need to lock the mask layer so we don't accidentally collapse down on it. Alright, well, we'll start simple. We'll start with the ground. As long as it looks good enough, I get it. I get that. I have, for the longest time, this perfectionist... I think that a lot of us probably have, as artists, have that perfectionist stuck in my brains. Go like, no, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. I can't start like, quote unquote, producing anything until my anatomy, my facials, my hair study, until I have done a gazillion hair studies or whatever. So that's... But at some point, you will never be good enough. You will never be ready. At some point, you just gotta bite the bullet and jump into it. So here we are. And just using a project to learn of how to, I don't know, draw a foot. In this case, no. Let's see. Oh, here we go. There's a foot. Running like that. maybe past the horizon. That's the... That's kind of like, yeah, there you go. Then we could have some... Learning by animating your series. That is good. That is really good. It's kind of what a little bit what I'm doing here. It's like I'm trying to make a comic / manga, whatever. And I'm just gonna have to figure out stuff as I go. Probably run into problems and just tackle them. Project-based learning. It's definitely the way to go instead of doing a gazillion isolated studies. You are improving, I feel, by doing that, but you're also moving. It feels like you're running like knee deep in water or something when you could have been on the racetrack. Solving problems as you go and sort of settle for, as you said, good enough, and then move on. You will get quote unquote master grade or perfect. Things will get quote unquote perfect by doing projects. That's the thing. As far as I understand it, and I'm honestly sick and tired of doing isolated studies. I would like to start actually making stuff. Is this what I want though? Here. Because, okay, so we could have some Huffin and Puffin, right? Because he do be running because he's being chased, of course. So we could, excuse me, have some big old speech bubbles here. That could work. I just need to figure out how to draw a sneaker. But yeah, and then we have like the classic anime speed lines, you know. Wow. This is just really... Oh. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just going big, medium, small, baby. I should probably just get a parallel ruler to do something like this instead of doing things the old way. It's something along those lines. Pun intended. Puns are awesome. You gotta sneak those in whenever you can. Something like that. So, establishing shot. We're in the city. It's dark at night. Of course, I haven't like shaded it or anything. Put in the line art. Could use some work. Need some refinement here as well. This is empty and streets and traffic. I'm not sure. Well, I just have to wait and see. And he's huffing and puffing and he's running away, and then we have panel panel number 3, where I don't know, same, not exactly the same stuff, but it could be slowing down the pacing of the thing. Oh, we gotta worry about that as well. But what if we have, like, okay, so we have there's your foot, toe, up, heel, in, up, and yeah, that is a beautiful foot, chat, and I refuse. I will not take any other word for it. Let's see. Here we go. Like cow, whatever. And if he's running like that, and I don't know, maybe it's sort of, if his calf is up there, like his knee would be like here. I don't know. I shall find some references to get the proportions correctly, but now I'm just spitballing, and get out of my face, speech bubble. Right, calf. Heel. There we go. Maybe if I actually spin this thing around, I don't have to break my brains trying to figure things out. All right. Are you still huffing and puffing? All right, pant. Hey. But now, all right, these speed lines might be a little bit excessive. But the idea is basically the panel itself gets even darker. Right, so, or almost like like negative speed lines, if that makes sense. Like the whole let's see, probably being way too dedicated to what is essentially a very crude sketch, but whatever. So, life gets better if you add sound effects. All right. Okay. Cool. Actually, I think we're gonna need to add the bottom plane as the ground plane. Wait. And now we can go to town. Dun 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 dun. Okay. So now we kind of get like the opposite, if that makes sense. about, you know, your shapes, big, medium, small. Also, we want this to be a bit on the darker side as well. So, dotes and stuff. Are you done with? How are you lying on with Christmas shopping? You good? Does that work? Oh, so yeah, will that work? Oh, he's running. Get the of course, the feet are not to scale, but whatever. Kinda, sort of, maybe, a little bit. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I have like 2 brain cells, and one of them is already leaking out of my ear. So just doing this, never mind me trying to pay attention to chat either. No worries. Don't stress. I haven't done much Christmas shopping. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully you don't get stuck in the late Christmas shopping frenzy. I'm like, oh, it's only 2 days left. I got a bunch of presents to buy. Hopefully it will work out for you. Is spoon included in the Christmas Christmas presents? Or has it maybe he's just pushed things so many things off the the various tables that go like, no Christmas presents for you. You've been too naughty. Great. What was the plan for this panel again? I am not remembering. Alright, that was a running panel. That should be fairly easy. He says. Alright, so we have that. Right, like that. And you know, maybe we should just do something crazy here and just because you want the brow line and the shoulder line to. Ooh, new mice toys for Christmas. God dang. Oh. That sounds like a resounding success already. Alright, let's see. We have elbow. Go here, maybe there. Let's just put something down. Gosh darn it. Other shadow. Shadow. Shoulder. Alright, really. No, thanks. I hate it. Mr. Reference, can you come over here, please, so that I can look at you while I draw? Alright, so. Alright, and then. Kind of like collarbones, and kind of, yeah. Just got up there and there. You got the car, you got a good shoulder here. Shoulder like that. And then you got your. You're blocking my view. Why am I drawing this so notoriously detailed when it's just a stupid sketch? I have no idea. Probably because my brain is leaking out of my ears. Alright, so. Yeah. This is not how the character is supposed to look like, but. You know, whatever. Alright. I mean, it's kind of working. Horribly disproportioned, but hey. And of course, again. We can go. Alright. Look at that. Alright, so. You could do. Or I can do. Or is it just Control I? What the? No, that's not. Oh, no. Oh, it is. Okay. I could do this instead. I have a. And obviously, to better show that this arm is further back, we can give it a. Not necessarily that much of a dark path, but something like that. Okay. We could do that. We could do that, chat. Thank you for your service, Mr. Reference. You might be called back into active duty later. And here we have the iconic looking over the shoulder, so we get that page turn. I know how to draw the Loomis head. So I loosely sketch something in. Come on. That's a beautiful ear if I ever saw one. Right. That is a big head. You don't need that big of a head. You're not that much of a smart man. So, there we go. Oh, right. Well, yeah, you don't see it from that angle, but you don't see his man bun from that angle. Oh, like, just visual cues for his hair, blocking in crudely somewhat, and of course he has a beard as well, so that kind of just comes down, and that is a beautiful gentleman if I ever saw one. Neck kind of attaches like that, and then you have the kind of comes down like that, and then you have the shoulders, something like that, and side. All right, so twisting and turning. Right, and then his shoulder would be here, and then his arm would just go like that. And his other arm, just maybe you'll see a little bit of the other arm like that. Something like this, maybe. Honestly, like, drawing. Gotta draw through your forms. And the arm, maybe. See a little bit of the fist. Like, I guess it depends on like how he's running, but if you want to go. Like it looks, that looks good running, but I wonder if it might be more interesting. Let's just try it. It's just a quick sketch anyway. Maybe that, again, that might be confusing, but let's see. The head is the same, roughly speaking. Right, So, but instead of the shoulder going this way, maybe the shoulders go that way. No, I want him to go this way, right? So he's looking over the shoulder that goes up, and he's now, because now we're 180, and we're a little bit forward in time. A small second faster, and he's running as if his life depends on it. So go like, oh no, that's the one too far. Whoa. Okay. Right, rib cage, shoulder line. Other shoulder, neck, right, and then arm. Look at that. How the heck does that work? The other arm, it kind of comes up back like that, right? And then this, it goes in front of that. But the other arm kind of just attaches like that, and I suppose the arm, yeah, the elbow will kind of stop in front of the face, something like that, and then I don't know, maybe you'll see a little bit of the, depends entirely on how much he's throwing, looking over his shoulder and throwing. Okay, like These lines are confusing me. No. Like, this reads good. Reads well. At least to my tired brain, but... who knows when I come back to, like... Wait, what? This is... No, this is panel 3. Oh, I'm on the wrong panel. Ah. So many panels, so little time. Oh. There we go. Alright. Beautiful. Okay. I wonder how you do those like 3. Okay, I'm pretty good. This big question is, can we capture that energy, retain that energy, I suppose, over as we refine our sketches? That is the big question. All right, so dude looks over his shoulder, looking back over my shoulder. And all right. Thanks for stopping by, Dot and stuff. Give my best to Boone. Alright. Yeah, because now that arm is going forward. Yeah, let's just go with that. Alright. Neck. Kind of fits in there. Right, so that. Okay. We could experiment and let's just do this. Right, so there's the other shoulder, right? And then yeah. Hang on. That's one shoulder. Right, and then why is that so hard? Drawing is hard. Alright. But fun. Twisted. Oh, maybe now we're cooking with gas, chat. Are we cooking? Like that one is chasing forward. That one was going. It's kind of just like this, but flipped. And looking over his shoulder. Why is that so hard? Let's try some stupid. Right, a rib cage. One shoulder, other shoulder, shoulder line, neck. Right. Head. Arm. That work. Struggling to see it. Reference time? Reference time, chat? Let's see, running, looking for shoulder. See what we got. Anatomy of an Angel. That's not what I'm after. Close but no cigar. Alright. Well, that could... work, I guess. Open a new. Could use something like this. This is reference. I think. Maybe. Let's see. Right, so basically kind of what I was already going for, because like he's standing straight up and down, so it's not quite the same, but yeah, same but different. And then but then, of course, you have the wacky stuff of like, oh no, I'm getting stuck in anatomy. But okay, right? So I kind of just tapers down because trapezius, yeah, trapezius there, trapeze. But he's also doing stuff with his arms. Like his arms is just straight up down, and go like, no, it's not. And then, of course, oh my god, no, I'm getting sucked into the anatomy rabbit hole, and I don't like that. I suppose we'll go like, there we go, shoulder. All right. Stylus are flying all over the place. Maybe that's a sign, chat. It's a sign that I should stop. Been at it for almost 4 hours. Like, holy crap. The bulk of it that's being spent on the first panel, but yeah. I think we're gonna call it around here, chat. I think we're gonna have to call it around here because my brain is cooked. My brain is cooked, chat. But I would say still good progress nonetheless. Right? Good progress nonetheless. So we'll just pick up where we left off on Sunday, 6 p.m. Since I'm done with the Christmas shopping. So yeah, 2 next weeks are probably going to be business as usual. Week 50 and 51, but of course the 52nd week is going to be like normally I draw on Tuesday. Yeah. And then Friday, opposite off, and Sunday. Maybe on Sunday, the 28th. Unlikely, but most likely the all of week 52. So 2 more weeks to go of the year, and then we will be done. Yeah. All right. So, what do we need? I probably need sneakers. I need reference for sneakers. And I need reference for someone running. Prop is there? There's probably is. Most likely is some stuff. I mean, there's a running pose if I ever saw one, but can we? Of course we can. We can take a basis in this and have him. Oh, there we go. Turn. Head. That's just up and down. Just there. A little bit. Just the neck. There we go. Oh, we could do that. He's not gonna be. No, he's just slow. No, he needs to be average. Okay. But yeah, we could do that. The only problem is, of course, this model. Probably deforms the mesh. Alright, what if we... I'm not gonna fiddle around with that now. I'm not gonna fiddle around with that. Alright, so... have I checked off today on Friday? Yeah, today's Friday, 5th. Yeah, 5th. Checked off that. No, it's a full moon today. So yeah, Sunday, 6 p.m. Oh my goodness gracious! Surprisingly productive. Like I feel good about this being a productive. Like we just need to go through the same process refinement of the second, the remaining panels, and we also need to figure out how to solve the final panel. But that is a challenge, and obviously line art and rendering in terms of tone or halftones and black and so on and so forth was just a can of worms in and of itself. But yeah, this feels much better, and I'm happy with it. All right. So, yeah, we have a plan, ladies and gentlemen, and others in chat. We have a plan. Might not necessarily be the best plan, but we have a plan. So, I guess I'll see you then again on Sunday, 6 p.m. Until then, keep drawing, keep having fun. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.